Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Wednesday the 14th of February 2024. In today's Millwall news, today was match day. We played Ipswich at home and it was a heavy defeat. Another shit performance and let's get into it. We're going to start off with, instead of the match report, how the table looks right now. As of recording this, I'm recording this at 2:30 a.m. GMT. Joe Edwards is still the Millwall manager. He hasn't been fired yet. This is what the table looks like. We are in 21st position. Huddersfield played tonight and beat Sunderland 1-0. Stoke beat QPR. We are 4 points above Queen's Park Rangers in the relegation places. We had the advantage yesterday. I told you in the video that Leeds beat Swansea by 4 goals, so that messed up Swansea's goal difference and made our goal difference better than theirs. Well, we gave that back because we were defeated 4-0 at home to Ipswich, and we now have a goal difference of -13. So what that does is, this is Joe Edwards' Wikipedia page. Now, he didn't have one when he joined Millwall, he does now. This has been updated. You can see their managerial record by team and tenure. See, Millwall, his only manager job ever so far in men's football. He now has a win percentage of 22.22, having played 18 games, won 4, drawn 4, and lost 10. What does that mean? Why am I showing you this? Well, let's go to this and go to... This is from millwallhistory.org.uk. This is a list of all the Millwall managers ever. And it has been sorted by this column here, win percentage. And what you will find... Obviously, Joe Edwards is on here, but it hasn't been updated. But we now know by going to the Wikipedia page that it's 22.2 now, not 25. So it's going down and down and down. The win percentage is 22.22. Steve Lomas had a winning percentage of 25%. Joe Edwards is a worse manager than Steve Lomas. Ian Holloway had a win percentage of 22.58. Joe Edwards is a worse manager than Ian Holloway, worse Millwall manager than Ian Holloway. He is slightly better than Colin Lee, who has a win percentage of 21.43. Now, Joe Edwards has been in for, it says here 100 days, I think it's probably around about 107 days. If we keep Joe Edwards for another month, that will take him into the realm of David Tuttle and Nigel Spackman, arguably two of the worst ever Millwall managers of all time. There are worse with lower win percentages, but they've played a lot fewer games and been in the job for a lot less time. If we allow Joe Edwards to be Millwall manager for 121 days, will his win percentage be better or worse than David Tuttle's at 18.18%? If we allow him to stay as the Millwall manager for 126 days, which is what Nigel Spackman had, who had a win percentage of 16.67%, will Joe Edwards get that far? Will he? If he stays for another 20 days, I think that's another 4 games. If we lose all of them, he will turn out to be, if he's still in the job, the worst Millwall manager of all time. And that's the facts. Now, let's get into the match report. Obviously, the game was on Sky. I'm sure a lot of you seen it, or if you're in the UK, it was on Sky. Around the world, it was on TV as well. Millwall beaten 4-0 by Ipswich Town at the Den on Wednesday night. This is from millwallfc.co.uk, the club's official website. 3 first-half goals did the damage for the Tractor Boys as Nathan Broadhead, Kiefer Moore found the net either side of a Wes Harding own goal. Substitute Ali Al-Mahadi added a penalty kick in the second half stoppage time. Joe Edwards made 4 changes for the visit to Tractor Boys as Murray Wallace, Ryan Leonard, George Saville and Tom Bradshaw came in for Javette Tanganga and Casper Denor, who both dropped to the bench, as well as Michael Obafemi and Joe Bryan, who missed out through illness and suspension respectively. The Lions started on the front foot in a 16, forcing numerous corner kicks. Yeah, I think in the end we had something like 11 corner kicks, and of course they were all fucking dog shit. But could not test Vaclav Latke in the Ipswich goal, despite a volley from Lennon and a glancing header from Jake Cooper. Romain Esse passed and set Bradshaw away with 9 minutes on the clock, but he was closed down by the Ipswich defence before Leonard picked up the ball on the edge of the penalty area and struck, only for Latke to divert wide. Zion Fleming's disguised free kick was then stopped by the goalkeeper as the Lions once again started strongly. The Ipswich's first chance of the night, meanwhile, came on 20 minutes as Broadhead flicked a shot onto the top of the crossbar and behind from a corner, but 4 minutes later, owing to a defensive mix-up from the Lions, the Tractor Boys were able to take the lead as a cross into the box was headed home by Broadhead. Mill's problems after conceding reared their head again on 32 minutes, however, it was 2, Harding turning the ball into his own net following a cross. From there, it was one-way traffic with the Lions struggling to get out of their own half. They did muster a set piece with 3 minutes to play until the break, but Wallace nodded Saville's free kick over the bar. 1 minute into stoppage time, however, it was 3-0 as Moore was able to nod home the simplest of headers. Denor replaced Harding at half-time with the first effort of the restart going away in Millwall. Fleming's shot was deflected wide, however. The Belgians' cross was then flicked towards goal by Bradshaw, but comfortably gathered by Gladkey. Whilst the triple substitution on 71 minutes saw Duncan Watmore and Billy Mitchell enter the field, plus Adam Mayer for his own debut, Sarkit palmed away substitute Halmer had his effort in Ipswich's first shot of the second half on 79 minutes. With Fleming heading and Watmore crossed wide at the other end a minute later. It should have been a 4 for the visitors with 9 minutes to play as Jeremy Saramento poked Wes Burns' cross wide of the near post before Fleming blazed over from inside the penalty area as Millwall's chances continued to go begging. A lacklustre second half was brought to an end by the whistle of referee Sam Barrott, following Halmer had his penalty 3 minutes into stoppage time. Having looked at the stats, I can tell you that Ipswich had 9 shots in that game. 9 shots and they scored 4 goals. The team was as follows: Sarkit, Leonard, Harding, Cooper, McNamara, Honeyman, Saville, Wallace, Esse, Fleming, Bradshaw. The subs were Denor for Harding on 46 minutes, Mitchell for Honeyman 71 minutes, Mayer for Esse on 71 minutes, and Watmore for Bradshaw 71 minutes. The unused substitutes will be Biakovsky, Tanganga, Campbell, Boateng, and Walker. So, no Obafemi. No Obafemi. The crowd was 15,890. Yeah, it was just shit. It was just complete fucking shit. Zombie Millwall. Just sleepwalking into the League One abyss. Zombie Millwall. It's the same people, it's the same players, but they look just dead in the eyes. They don't look like what they used to look like. The life has gone from them. They're just zombies, playing the role of who they really are and who they really were last season. Just zombies. So this is let's get the post-match comments for what they're worth. This is from southwarknews.co.uk. We're the makers of our own downfall. Joe Edwards draws on experience from Chelsea and Everton. Did you know he used to be at Chelsea and Everton? Yeah, he was a youth coach at Chelsea, and he was an assistant at Everton when Frank Lampard run the club into the fucking ground. As he sets out plan to turn things around at Millwall, Joe Edwards faced some difficult questions after a poor night for Millwall. Joe Edwards believes he and Millwall's honest dressing room can turn things around, as he reflected on the contrasting atmosphere among the squad compared to other clubs he has been at. The Lions boss was previously a first-team coach at Chelsea and Everton, two sides that regularly hit the headline in recent years for poor on-pitch performances. Edwards thinks Millwall's squad does not have a feel of a side who are in crisis, despite the fact that they have lost 5 of their last 6 in the league and are sliding into a relegation battle. But he did lament the avoidable mistakes that repeatedly cost the Lions points. Speaking after last night's dreadful 4-0 defeat to Ipswich Town, Edwards said, The only way through it is just to go through it. In a weird way, it makes it even more frustrating how honest and open they are to work with every day. And I've been in some training grounds where there's crises, whether that's at Chelsea when you need to win every game and you stop winning, there's a crisis, or at Everton where there's a relegation battle. I know a dressing room that's low in confidence and flat, and an environment that's quiet and a bit divided. Our environment every day is far from that, and you feel like when one defeat happens, whether that's Hull or Coventry, we get together, we dissect it, we talk about it. Everyone's very clear. We have a plan for the next game, and for the first part of the next game, it looks like we've eradicated it. And then the same story again. Mistakes, which, and this isn't me putting it on the players because we're all in it together, but there's some individual defensive mistakes at the moment that's just costing us. And we're in that rut where we're the makers of our own downfall to a point, and also we're in a rut where everything that can go against us is going against us, and any mistake does end up in the back of the nets. And what we know about those times is that they do turn. Runs in football, whether it's a winning run or a losing run, at some point they turn on you, and all you can do is keep believing. There's not many places to go in terms of a radical formation change. If you look at the squad tonight, we've been depleted. We've really suffered continuous knocks and niggles and illnesses and suspensions that have broken up the consistency of the team. And I'm able to work with every day, and then the team I'm able to field. It's one of those periods, I'll be honest, where since the last win, it feels really tough, and everything that can go against you can. But everyone in the game has been there before, and there's always a way out. You just have to stand up and face it and keep working and be better. So there you go. Part and parcel of being a football manager. And he seems to be playing, saying we don't have enough players. Nowhere near good enough. Joe Edwards picks apart awful night for Ipswich, awful night for Millwall, and reflects on minor Ipswich moment that may have changed the course of the game. The Millwall boss gave his reaction to the 4-0 defeat to Ipswich. Joe Edwards admitted his side were nowhere near good enough during the first half period that saw them fall 3-0 down before half time to Ipswich Town. The Lions would eventually lose 4-0 on a terrible night at the Den, and left Millwall staring at their biggest defeat of the season. The home side were actually the better team at the Den for the opening 15 minutes before the Ipswich goals began to flow. It continued Mill's theme under Edwards of starting games well but not managing to win, and leaves them fourth bottom in the championship. Speaking in his post-match conference, the Lions boss said, it's a bit of deja vu, even this conversation, this start to a press conference. Started well, clear plan that players were executing and starting on the front foot. Things we've spoken about since I first came here, and what we want to feel like at the Den. Make sure we're getting the ball in the box. Their keepers had a few saves early on. When you play against a team of Ipswich's level, they can score a goal. They've been scoring a lot of goals this season, and they've seriously strong attacking line, but the manner of it just can't happen. The way they get the corner and then the way we defend, it was such a poor goal. It's probably a combination of two things that throws us. We feel in a good place, we feel like we're building momentum, and then the goal takes the wind out of your sails, and then also the manner of it. There was probably an awareness of how poor a goal it was, and from there until half time it just unravelled, and there was nowhere near good enough. And it showed in certain parts on the pitch. They're levels above us at the moment. Ipswich attacker Omari Hutchinson went down with an issue after 15 minutes, bringing to an end a period that saw the Lions force the Ipswich keeper Vaclav Clady into multiple saves. The momentum then completely swung to the Tractor Boys after the game restarted. Asked about that moment, Edwards said, if it did affect the game, we've got to be better than that. I can't really just answer that any other way. A player getting injured or breaking the rhythm of the game, and again, I said to the players, it's time to set the standards where they should be. The league's of a high standard this season. We've got to be careful that we don't get too carried away with this, giving ourselves a pat on the back for how well we start games. Football matches are 98 minutes long or whatever they are, and they're not 25 to 40 minutes long. Players get injured and games get stoppages. That's how it is. We need to know our plan, execute it, work hard, defend well, be more creative in attack, and we need to do it for 98 minutes. So that moment might have had an impact, but there's no way it should do it to the level it did. Mill have now lost 6 of their last 7 games since New Year's Day and are just 4 points clear of the relegation zone. But Edwards insisted that he still believed there could be a positive future ahead. He said, I trust the lads we have downstairs. I speak to people on my staff like Andy Barrett. And Andy Barrett, he don't even know the guy's name. It was that misprint. Adam Barrett and Andy Marshall have been here for a long time. Though there's been success to a point in terms of the league finish last year and finishing the top half for a few years in a row, people have been through it with some of these players. will tell you there's been long, difficult spells. Adam Barrett was recalling to me a period where they went 15 games without a win, so you always have to draw on those experiences and remind yourself that, however bad it feels, it's probably happened before and it will happen again. That's football. But players there that know the level, that have produced the level, that simply have to start doing it at the moment. Yeah, the thing with the 15 games was Gary Rowett. I think that was COVID, during COVID. But he didn't lose 15 games. He didn't win one game. He didn't get one draw in 6. He was just getting draws and losing for 15 games, mostly draws. So, Joe Bryan, what happened there? Well, we got news this morning, or this afternoon. Because of an off-the-ball incident that the referee missed, he's got a 3-match ban. Because the referee missed it and didn't write in his match report, the powers that be behind the scenes can then charge you, and then apparently he admitted the charge, and he got immediate suspension. So there you go, isn't it great? If he's not injured, he's suspended. Fantastic stuff there. Millwall defender Joe Bryan has been handed a 3-game ban for violent conduct during their 2-1 defeat at Coventry on Sunday. The left-back's behaviour in the 27th minute was not seen by the match official, but it was caught on camera. Bryan was adjudged to have elbowed Coventry attacker Tatsuhiro Sakamoto during the match. Romain SA opened the scoring for the Lions, while a second-half brace from Haji Wright gave Coventry all 3 points. Bryan subsequently admitted to the FA charge. The former Fulham defender will miss tonight's clash at home to Ipswich Town, Saturday's game at the Den against Sheffield Wednesday, and the away trip to Southampton the following weekend. Bryan has featured 20 times this season for the Lions in all competitions. So there you go. Joe Edwards. It's time. It's time to go. If you're not thinking of quitting, maybe you should. And if anyone at Millwall is watching this, I mean, you've got to be thinking about firing him now. Have you not? If you're not thinking of firing him, you need your head wobbled. And if Joe Edwards is exiting, can you please take this guy with you as well? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.